What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of my Road to Glory. Now, I played a lot of games whilst you're watching this last week. These are some of the games that you saw because of the 7 years of FUT birthday cup. And I was initially going to show you all the games, win or lose, but what I thought I'd do is up until the final event, I'm just going to show you the tournaments that I won and not the tournaments that I also lost. Simply due to the fact that there's around 60 games. So by the time you get to watch all of that content, we'll be like 3-4 weeks into the future. Team of the season will be here. And then that 3-4 weeks, I either have to not play on the account or just miss out on showing you even more content. And I don't want to do that. However, we packed an inform in the free pack from EA, which was great. We also got NepentheZ, which was pretty good. NepentheZ is a great player. We got Castillo, who ended up being very valuable to us because the NA Cup was out, where you had to use Mexicans or from the MLS players. And that's what I'm talking about. See, I've already done that sort of stuff with this account, and I want to catch up the content quickly. So I'm going to not show you any losses going forward until it's relevant for showing you again. And with that as well, I'm probably going to upload one of these every day. I didn't want to do it every day. I wanted to do it every other day. I want to do other games on this channel and such as well. But right now, I've been playing FIFA so much on this account that I wanted to do it every day. Also, guys, what you'll find in the description are two things. First of all, you're going to find the Road to Glory spreadsheet where you can catch up on my trades. I don't really keep up to date on that too much, but you'd know if I was cheating because I just have an abundance of coins from somewhere. You can also keep up to date on my offline gameplay because I play a lot of offline games on this account. I'm not the hugest fan of offline, but I am the hugest fan of winning and having good teams. And I do believe that when you don't put FIFA points or buy coins into FIFA, playing offline is a very, very valid way of making really good coins at pretty much no cost, because you could use your bronze or like untradeable players that you'd never typically use, and you save yourself hundreds if not thousands of coins whilst making coins. So if you've got the time, I do think offline is definitely valuable. So I do play a lot of offline stuff, and you can keep up to date with that with the spreadsheet down below. The other thing you'll find down below will be a link to prestigemaster.co.uk, which is the site that sponsors this series right now. If you do want to buy anything from Prestige Master, they sell GTA accounts and Call of Duty accounts and knives and guns and such that you could buy in COD. Go check those out, and obviously use Nepo at checkout for a 10% discount. So that being said, guys, you know, this content is relatively old. It's actually not that old. It's actually, I only recorded this like 4 days ago, but I played the week of the 7 years of FUT birthday. I played the offline tournament completely, which was 28 games. I played about 40 to 50 games in the online tournament on this account. I played around 30 online games on my account, my main account, on top of doing draft videos and playing like YouTubers for series and stuff. I calculated it. I played around 200 games of FIFA last week. So imagine how much content I've got. It's absolutely crazy. What I was doing though, like quite a lot of the time, I found myself getting like really stressed out at FIFA. I'd start the day off and play good FIFA, like what you're seeing here, and I'd end the day playing really bad FIFA, but still playing to try and get to where I want to be, because there was a time limit on this tournament and I wanted to win everything. So I had to keep forcing myself to play, even when I was absolutely hating the game. I still forced myself to go ahead and play. So yeah, what was happening for me is that I was trying a lot of new things during games, and you'll see a few different play styles from me throughout these games. Like I mentioned in the last video, I'm starting to use a drag back a hell of a lot more. I'm starting to use a ball roll a hell of a lot more, and I'm starting to think more about what is broken in FIFA. And with that in mind, the two teams that I currently have, I'm probably going to sell both of them and build like just one team, and then use offline games with bronzes to keep refreshing fitness. Because what I think is popular, what I think is important in FIFA is a tall, strong midfield. And one of the best teams I've ever used this year was when my midfield consisted of Vieira, Bergkamp, and another legend. I can't remember who it was. I had 3 legends in midfield. Vieira and Bergkamp were 2 of those 3 legends, and it was another really tall legend as a third. It might have been like Lothar Matthäus actually. And why those 3 guys were popular and impressive and effective wasn't necessarily because they were legends, which obviously did have an impact on how the team performed, but because they were just so big. And when I look at my team the two teams that I've got, if I had Pogba, that would be great. But although Nainggolan, Pjanic, Kovacic, Modric, James Rodriguez, although these players are great players within the game, I don't have that powerhouse or a couple of powerhouses in midfield that dominate the game. And I do think the midfield is one of the most important aspects of the game, just because in attack, like, shooting mechanics are broken in this game. I've proven that with the fact that I've got Cameron Gill, who's rated 55 or 50 to over 60 goals in around 60 games. Like, I've proven that a bronze player can do as good a job as a gold player, given the fact that you use and abuse the game mechanics for him, right? Defensively, you're going to get fucked over and over, regardless of how good you are. When I speak to Huge Grillo, who is widely regarded as the #1 FUT player in the world right now, I speak to him on a daily basis. We have a lot of differences, opinions of what works, what doesn't work, whether there's scripting or not. Like, we have a lot of different opinions on that sort of stuff. But he is of the belief that he's not strong defensively. He is of the belief that that's his weakest area, and that's just because of how FIFA is. So you're going to get countered a lot. You're going to get chances against you a lot. And if your opponent does also understand the game mechanics and how to shoot and how to finish, you're going to concede no matter how good you are at FIFA, pretty much. So attack is obviously very important, and defense is largely unimportant due to the fact that you could be the best defender in the world and you'll still concede goals, which makes the midfield like the kind of turning point of the entire game. And with that, if you've got an attacking midfield like what I use quite regularly right now in my main account, which is like, you know, Ronaldo, Modric and Bale, just 3 attacking players, you could find yourself getting countered a lot more than you would expect. Whereas if you had players, for example, like Fellaini, Torre and Fabregas, although Fabregas isn't necessarily the tallest, what you've got there is 3 defensive-minded midfielders and 2 beast midfielders, 2 really tall, really strong midfielders that can just really help your team out. I spoke about this a lot in last year's FIFA, and I thought it was one of the most important things in the entire game. And it's something that I haven't really paid attention to this year until now, which is stupid because it's still one of the most important things in the game. And that is the fact that if you have a tall, ball-winning midfielder, you will win more games than you deserve to win off the basis of the game mechanics. For example, when your opponent's goalkeeper has either a goal kick or the ball at his hands or feet and just clears the ball, if you win that header where the ball goes to the middle of the park, you are instantly on a counter-attack. It's just how the game works. You are just on a counter-attack. You've got a great opportunity to score. If you're good enough in attack, you will score more goals than you will concede. If you have smaller midfielders, like if you have players like I have, like Perez. I know Perez is quite tall, but he's not the best. Like I've got there Kovacic, Rodriguez. They're not your typical bully midfielders. So when I don't win that header and I don't win that physical battle, instead of me countering my opponent, I'm now being countered on by my opponent. Like, you know, as soon as I lose that header in midfield, they're now in behind my midfield and they're into my my defensive third, their offensive third, and there's now problems because now if you make one misstep, if you make the wrong tackle, if you dive in too early, if you let them get around you via a skill move or a 1-2 or a chip through ball, you're in trouble. If you back off and give them space and let them take a long shot, you're in trouble. So winning the midfield battle is everything in FIFA this year. Or like, not everything to the extent that, you know, if you win midfield battles, you're just going to win games, but it is to the point where it can definitely turn a close game in your favor or a game that you're losing back into a non-losing situation just off the back of the success of your midfield. So what I want to do with this teams that I've got right now, I've probably got about 200,000 coins worth of players. I'm probably going to try and sell them all and then build a strong midfield and then build around that midfield and see what we get. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, into the final we go, guys, of this cup, and I get stupidly lucky to score this goal, right? But then I score, for me, my favourite goal that I've ever scored this year in FIFA. And there's no skill moves, there's no tricks or anything like that. It is just a passing move from back to front where I get the ball here with DeMarcos. I pass it to James. James gives it into Perez. Perez back to DeMarcos, and he's pressing me. He's 1-0 down, 20 minutes to go. He's got to press me. He's got to get the ball back and score a goal. Ball comes out to Marcelo, who touches the ball about 5 or 6 times in this exchange. Marcelo to Kovacic, back to Marcelo. Marcelo back inside. It falls to Konoplyanka. Konoplyanka's got nowhere to go. Drops back to Marcelo, into Kovacic. Kovacic finds Marcelo again, who just seems to be in the space. Marcelo into Enzo Perez. Enzo Perez nearly loses the ball, finds Marcelo again. Marcelo back into Konoplyanka. Konoplyanka into Griezmann with a back heel through to Kovacic. What a goal. What a goal. No skills, no trickery. 15 consecutive passes without misplacing a single pass, without struggling to keep hold of the ball, and without getting double team closed down like you know, wild boars were hunting you down. It was just a beautiful goal. Started off with my right back and finished off with my centre midfielder up in the top left-hand side of the field. For me, it is just the best goal I've scored in FIFA this year. I haven't put passing moves quite like that together, and it felt so good to score that goal. And it's not the fanciest goal. Like I say, no skill moves, no tricks, not a long shot, nothing like that. Just a great goal. Just a great goal. We end up going through 3-0 here, guys, in the 83rd minute, to which point I think my opponent rage quit. He didn't actually. We went through to full time. So we end up winning the tournament, which on this occasion gave us the rare gold pack. Now, I've been seeing people get a lot of lucky pulls out of their free packs from the tournament and from EA this week. So we already got an Inform today and Benteke, which both could be useful to the club. Can we get ourselves another really good player as we end today's episode? If you did enjoy today's episode, drop a thumbs up. If you've got anything to add to what I feel about how FIFA works, feel free to put it in the comment section below. And I do appreciate you guys hanging out on the second channel here and coming into the video. But this is the pack we got, guys. I was hoping for something awesome, man. I was hoping for something awesome because I felt like we deserved it. You know, we put a lot of time, a lot of effort into this account. And I was really hoping that this rare gold pack could give us something great. Unfortunately, we got Gael Clichy and it was a shit pack. I do appreciate the contracts and fitness cards, though. They were very nice for the club. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to drop a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.